Alright lads, so tomorrow morning we are going to be finally getting the Swimsuit Bambies banner. A new swimsuit version of Candice, Bambietta and Mininas are close to releasing. And as always, before a new banner does drop, we are here to talk about, is the banner actually worth summoning on? Now, say right from the get-go, it's an overall good banner. Not a must summon though. But that really depends on the type of player you are and also how big of a fan you are of these three particular characters, right? And to those people, you're probably already dead set on summoning. I think this is a banner you can afford to skip because they definitely will be back later on. But at the end of the day, the best way to summon on any banner is to pull for your favorites. And if you are a massive fan of Bambietta, Minina, and also Candice, or at the same time want what they do offer, well then maybe it's worth going to a certain number of steps or maybe going down to 0. It really depends. For some people, the anniversary starts tomorrow. Speaking of the anniversary, that's important to talk about before we even do get into the actual character breakdown, because the banner itself will be available tomorrow, the 30th of June, and will last until July 15th. Now, given that we are so close to the start of the actual 9th anniversary, it might be worth considering summoning on the individual banners. In this case, Bambietta is first up with Wonderwise, Dordoni, and also Ichigo as fillers. It's a decent filler pool, I actually don't mind it. And in her case, her banner will be out potentially when the anniversary Barncard live stream does happen. Now, as of right now, we don't know the official date for the reveal of the 9th anniversary characters, but it does usually happen around the 20th, the 19th, and maybe 18th of July. We'll get the official confirmation in like a week's time. And if you are only interested in one of the new females, let's say Bambietta for example, you generally could wait till like the last 2 days of an individual banner, wait to see the reveal of the 9th anniversary characters, and if you don't care about them, if you're not interested in them, well then maybe you can go back in on this banner. If you are someone for Candice or likewise Minina, you have the advantage of actually having the anniversary banner out while the individual banners are out. In this case, Candice is going to be paired with Iba, Gantenbane, and also New Year's Rukia, and in her case, her banner is going to span from the 21st of July all the way to the 27th, and the anniversary itself starts on the 23rd. Now, there's a potential chance the second part of the anniversary, the end of month for July, which is pretty much guaranteed to be 1000-year Blood War, there's a potential chance this actually gets announced on the 26th, and therefore, you might actually know what both part 1 is and part 2 while this banner is out if you do wait for the last day, if you have patience enough. And then in the case of Minina, I mean, her banner will be out literally when end of month has officially been revealed, and it will also be out at the same time. So depending on how you want to go about it, individuals this time around generally is not a bad way to go about summoning for these new characters if you're only really interested in summoning for one of them, because the timing is a little convenient given that some of these banners / all of them will be out during the time we know what the anniversary characters part 1, and in some cases for Candice and Minina we'll know what part 2 is. At the same time, again, for Minina, you could do all your anniversary summon on part 1 and part 2, and if you have any extra leftover orbs, well then you can use that to summon on Minina's individual banner. With that out of the way though, now let's talk about the new character. First and foremost, we have Bambietta, a guild quest / limit breaker hybrid. She's the first type of character we are seeing like this, where she is the limit breaker character of the month, which usually means, and in this case it's true, she's one of the better characters in the game. But it's very weird to see her get skills specifically designed for guild quests. The best part about Bambietta though is that she herself is a technique, a rank killer, a melee one in particular. And if you actually have a look at the album itself and look at our fellow other melee rank killers that are technique, you'll notice that we haven't had any of them in quite a long time. So she does have her own niche to that certain extent, and in the upcoming limit breaker quest you will definitely notice that, as there isn't really that many good replaceable characters for her in slot number 1. What's going to make Bambietta an overall solid character is her skill set and overall strong attack kit that she does have. If we have a look at her damage output, she does have Frenzy +2. When you inflict a status event, and keep in mind she can inflict paralysis and also lacerate, which in my opinion is an amazing combination of status augments. Upon inflicting a status event, you will then get an 80% stat boost on your spiritual pressure stat, and then she also does have a 40% berserker skill, an increased killer effect, and also melee damage, which does get further increased in the guild quest game mode. Likewise with a Frenzy +2, if you are using it in guild quest, it does go up to Frenzy +3. So damage output in guild quest is like really high, and there's actually a potential chance in the melee Aranka guild quest that she's going to rival and be better than someone like Kyoge, who's an absolutely amazing character. But then even outside of guild quest, she's going to perform very well, especially when she does have killer, as she will then have that increased chance to inflict status augments. She's also the first character to come with the new team party buff, and unfortunately only one enemies defeated bonus, where upon getting 25 enemies defeated, she will give your entire team a 20% killer effect. which is really good and does synergize very well with other characters like Mugetu, for example, another character you want to use in this upcoming Limerick quest, where he's naturally giving your team a 20% strong attack damage buff. And because Bambietta is not giving a strong attack damage buff, but instead a killer buff, you know, they both just work well together in my opinion. She also has a very solid strong attack kit, some fun visuals, and also a really fun Sobom. Overall, definitely the highlight of this banner in my opinion. Easily the strongest swimsuit character we have received to date. And if you're a Bambi fan, this character is almost going to be a must-have because she looks very fun to play, and she's going to be easily one of the best technique characters to use in any piece of content. But of course, more specifically, will excel in Limit Breaker and also Guild Quests. And also, maybe it's worth mentioning, she's also a pretty good arena character, as she does pick up Start Power Item +2 and also Poise at level 2 and level 5 respectively. Candice is going to be a speed Quincy Stamrator with the Stamrator kill ability, and she's going to fulfill the role of being your team booster in the ranged or melee, because they're both combined, Stamrator guild quests. She's definitely going to be sought after for that aspect, given that the lack of options here are very daunting. If you have a look at the album itself, realistically, there's only 2 good normal attack damage characters here, that being Tsukishima, a character that isn't widely available for new players, as it's not really recommended to summon on novel banners. And then Shad is also going to be quite available, given that he is a 1000-year Bloodwood character, but he doesn't work well with the best character that you are going to use in this guild quest phase if you have him, that being true Shikai Ichigo. So Candice is going to be easily the best character to use in this particular phase as a normal attack damage character, and she does have a very, very high damage output. Flight +1, which does get increased to Flight +2 in guild quests, range damage +10%, killer effect +30%, and these 2 skills also get further increased in guild quests. And then that's not enough, because she also does have a 80% bruiser, an additional 20% strong attack damage, which you do give to your entire team if they are a speed character. And then she also does have a team boost SA2 with the booster skill, so you're giving your entire team a 43% attack, focus, and also defense increase. Damage output, it's actually very high, especially when you use it in guild quests. In guild quests specifically, it's very likely she's going to be the hardest hitting normal attack damage character. And I think the great part about it is that she also does have some good survivability if you do decide to use her, given her innate skills is Sprinter +3, making her a very fast character, especially if you do give her long stride, but she also does have long reach, which is quite noteworthy for a ranged character like her, as you very rarely ever see that combination. It means she can actually sit back from afar, use her normal attacks, and hit the enemies from afar, which is always nice for characters like this. If she does get a tad bit too close though, she does actually dodge Quincy damage half of the time, with the dodge Quincy damage +50% skill, meaning that even in guild quests, if you aren't using someone like Ichigo to be your main lead, she's very likely to stay at full stamina, where she's then doing more damage, assuming you do give her full stamina damage bonus abilities. If you don't want to use her though, she is also a pretty decent soul trade, being damage taken -21%. As of right now, there isn't really any noteworthy speed characters in the Brave Battle meta, but whenever we do get a new broken speed character, Candice is almost going to be a must-have link for that character. If you saw our community reaction earlier today, most of the disappointment in this banner was aimed at this character, and it just strictly comes down to the fact that she is a normal attack damage character for the Guild Quest game mode. But outside of Guild Quest, I think she'll make for quite the fun normal attack damage character, and visually, I think she looks great. If you're a Candice fan, you can definitely make her work, but the main appeal, the main use you're going to get out of this character is, of course, in the Stamrator Guild Quest. And in that Guild Quest, she's going to be an absolutely amazing character. And then last but definitely not least, we have a new Minina, a Mind Quincy Stamrator with the Quincy Kill ability. In her case, she's going to be your standard farmer, but I don't even want to say standard. She's actually a really good farmer, one of the best farmers in the entire game. First up, she's going to fulfill the role as being a coin drop farmer, as she does increase the coin drop rate by 100%. She can farm links or potions, heart links or potions specifically, as she does have the heart links or potion +5 skill. And then she also is going to be a really good heart super links or farmer. That's her main usage here, as she does offer 10+ heart super links or potions. 5 of those potions do come from a soul trait, meaning she's going to be a very good soul trait for other links or farmers, or turning any character into a super links or farmer. But since she does want to be used in inheritance trials to farm super links or potions, her clear time is going to be very important. How safely can she clear this quest, how fast she can clear it, is the biggest factor on whether this character is going to be good or bad, and lucky for us, she's going to be absolutely amazing. With Frenzy +2, a 50% Berserker, and then 100% more damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment is a really good combination of skills, especially when paired with Guard Break and also Pierce Iron Skin. It's about time we saw a character this powerful to the likes of Senjumaru, who came out near the end of last year. It's taken that long for us to get a character this good, and you can basically look at this Minina as a mind Senjumaru, but better because she gives +10 super links or potions, and also has some extra good utility effects, as her SA2 is a barrier and also heal move, a multi-barrier by the way, so giving yourself a +5 barrier, +3 barriers for your teammates. She's immune to every status ailment, and she will actually give that status immunity, as she does have shared complete status immunity upon standing on any status on the pool. So she's not only going to be a very fast character in any quest, more specifically inheritance trials, she's also going to play the role as a support, keeping your team at full stamina and also keeping them protected. It's very likely if you are hosting an IT lobby inheritance trials and your other teammates are autoing, you're going to keep them all alive. I can't stress enough how good she actually is as a super elixir farmer, and if you are wanting to farm hard super elixir potions, this character is almost a must-have. She is significantly better than the current elixir farmers, that being Bargo and also, of course, Ikaku. And that's it for the banner. Of course, those are your 3 highlights: Minina, Candice, and also Bambietta. 3 very solid characters, and in their own unique ways, some of the best characters for what they want to do. More specifically, Minina and also Candice. Bambietta is overall just a very strong character, but also might be the best lead for the Midi Aranka Guild Quest. When it comes to the other characters, of course, to no one's surprise, it's featuring the past swimsuit characters. So if you have missed them, now's a good time to get them alongside some other really good swimsuit characters like Bambi again, Candice, and Minina. In this case, Rangiku is going to be very similar to Minina, to a lesser degree, but still perfectly serviceable. She's your super elixir farmer. Similar design with Frenzy +1, increased elixir potions, increased super elixir potions, in her case only +5, but she also does have 100% more damage to enemies not affected by an ailment, and also Pierce Iron Skin, still making it a very good farmer. If you want to farm mine super elixir potions, she's really good to have. Rurika is going to be a dedicated elixir farmer. In her case, by using her, you are getting +10 technique elixir potions. Really good in epic raids, as she does have a team heal, a charge strong attack free team heal, keeping your team at full stamina, keeping them protected, and also potentially really good to auto in inheritance zone, as she also does have drain on all of her attacks. Mila Rose is a very similar character, +10 elixir potions, in this case for the power attribute. And this character, I really like the way they designed her, given that she wants to be used in co-op content, more specifically epic raids. That's where you mainly farm elixir potions. And in that game mode, you're playing with other Arankas, more specifically other Mila Rose, and the more Mila Rose / Arankas you have in your lobby, the stronger this character does become. Actually, it does have the Aranka Resonance skill, getting 10% more strong attack damage every time you have another Aranka in your lobby. Neliel is going to be a mined super elixir farmer, fulfilling the same role as Minina, but significantly worse. Don't really think it's worth using it in 2024. She has that value aspect. She's maybe usable in epic raids and inheritance zone, but inheritance trials, I think the quest is a bit too difficult for her, and she doesn't clear as fast as you want to clear, which is what you are going to get with someone like Minina. But she still, again, does have that value, and it's also Neliel in a swimsuit. Momo is another super elixir farmer, in this case for the technique attribute, getting technique elixir potions. More of an auto character to get carried in inheritance trials lobbies, but she also does have a double role in guild quest, and she does make for a serviceable ranged no attack damage character with a team boost SA2. And then Isane is going to be an epic raid farmer, farming elixir potions and also droplets. Really good in that game mode too, buffing your team's strong attack damage by 20% and also keeping them again at full stamina thanks to a charge strong attack SA3 team heal. Overall, solid banner. Literally every character here has value, either as a elixir farmer, a super elixir farmer, a guild quest NAD character, or a really good character for GQ, and also Limit Breaker, which is what we have here with Bambietta. If we scroll down, the banner format is a Zenith summon, so step 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 are discounted at 150 orbs. Step 2, 7, 12, 17, and 22 are discounted at 200 orbs. Every 5th step, you're guaranteed a swimsuit character, one of these 9 characters here. And then, of course, if you do go all the way to step 25, you are guaranteed to pick the character of your choice, either Bambietta, Candice, or also Minina. So overall, in a way, it's a standard swimsuit banner, but overall some good characters, very exciting character picks, really cool designs too. If you want them because you're a massive fan of the character, go summon. Forget anniversary. If you want them because you like what they offer on your account, then go ahead summon for them. But do remember, it's very, very likely that these characters are going to be treated as just normal swimsuit characters and not 1000-year Blood War. I probably should have mentioned that at the start of the video, to be fair, so my fault. But nothing in this banner says 1000-year Blood War. The fillers aren't 1000-year Blood War. The characters themselves aren't named 1000-year Blood War swimsuit versions. So we're seeing a very similar pattern as we saw last year with the 8th anniversary, where despite them being from the 1000-year Blood War arc, they don't seem to actually be 1000-year Blood War characters. So it is likely these characters are going to be in free summons in the future. You can potentially get them from summon tickets that do include seasonal characters, and they're also very likely to return quite often, and also in the end of year poll selection, as it's pretty much guaranteed these characters are going to get most of the votes. So even if you skip them now, of course, for the upcoming 9th anniversary, there's going to be plenty of times to get them. They're not going to be as limited as their 1000-year Blood War counterparts, but to most people, that might not matter. It might be a down to 0 situation. In my case, I'm tempted to do a few summons just because I want the characters, and to a certain extent, my account will get better by having all 3 of these characters on my account. But I also do want to say for the upcoming 9th anniversary, so I am going to limit myself, and that's mainly because I don't have that many orbs. Having said that, I still have 7,000 orbs. I have quite a lot of orbs, but my main goal is to have 10,000 orbs for part 1 and part 2. 5,000 split across both. But I'll most likely be summoning more Assault on my alt account, as that account has plenty of free-to-play orb sources, and I just want to get the characters once on either of my account. I don't really care which one, because I know these characters on my main account, if I skip them now, I'll get them later on. But they are really good characters, they're really cool characters too. Ultimately, comes down to you if you want to summon for them. If you see the value, if you want them, go for it. But again, as always, be careful. Anniversary is literally less than a month away, and that's why I did mention that maybe the individual banners might be worth looking into. In my case, I'm kind of tempted to go maybe a bit more deep in Minina's individual. Either way, if you are summoning on tomorrow's banner, good luck, hopefully get what you want, and I'll see you later next time. Take care, and peace.